Okay, we're going to start at the escape hatch, and if you drop straight into the escape hatch, you come to this area, and within this area is a water tank. Only the second one we've ever seen. Apparently it's a 640 gallon water tank, so it would keep the guys going for some considerable time. It's absolutely solid as rock, as good as the day that they put her in there. See the rivets, fine workmanship, and very similar to the one on the outside of the stable block, which I'll show you at a later date. So you come through an arched doorway, drop down about 2.5 feet into what I can only describe as a concrete room. We've got concrete blocks for walls, we've got a concrete ceiling, and we've got a concrete floor. There's the ledge I was telling you about. So we thought it was corrugated sheeting on the roof, but it's actually not, it's concrete. And what they've probably done is used the corrugated iron as a shutter for the concrete, so it's took that form. We believe possibly the explosives store, where they would keep ammunition, explosives, that kind of thing. One big vent pipe leading to the main chamber, just to give a bit of fresh air. It was very cold down there. Usually they're very warm. It was very cold, and you'll see on the video that we posted on our Facebook account today that we were actually breathing out condensation, so it was quite cold. Wooden lintel across the doorway. There's no rebates in the door frames for a door, so maybe just a black curtain hung. That wooden lintel is very soft, but I don't think it will have an adverse effect on the structure of the structure because it's so well made. There's Martin just having a look at the seams in the concrete where you can actually see the corrugated iron net. So you walk down 2 steps and then you walk into the main chamber. 26.5 feet long, 9.5 feet wide by just a touch over 7 foot high. Now what looks to be extremely corroded ironwork is actually solid as a rock. And it's the first time we've seen this, that behind the corrugated iron it's concrete. So there's a slab of concrete all around the OB. So when you touch that corrugated iron, it's solid like a rock. In the middle of the actual main chamber you have 3 vent holes, and on the floor we found 3 rectangle indentations. Now some researchers have said that this is for a long table that was down the middle of the OB. If you imagine that space is at a premium, so be able to take things up and take things down, and you're creating space, especially if you've got many people in there sleeping. There's the vent pipes, 3 in a row, and you can see the concrete there that's behind the corrugated iron. All those vent pipes go off in one direction, which is quite strange. We couldn't find the outlets, so maybe they've been broken off, maybe they're buried. And then you see another depression or hole in the floor. Remains of 1 bunk bed are still in the main chamber. And you see it, just a simple wooden frame with lattice metalwork, maybe a mattress of straw or something maybe comfortable from home. Vent pipes abound in the bottom of the sides of the main chamber, and that's the first wall you would see if you came down the entrance shaft. This has a concrete lintel which we don't again see. You can see the normal brickwork above it, but concrete blocks again. Plenty of graffiti everywhere. Still see traces of white paint on the walls. Still surviving after all this time. and we are wearing dust masks at this stage. It's extremely dusty down there. And we learnt our lesson from Rise. So it's a very narrow doorway from the entrance area into the chamber. Trace that from a source that we're told there was tables and chairs there in the early 70s, so it looks like they've been either smashed or they've deteriorated over time. All the ironwork on the bunk beds there was so soft. And like I said, a very narrow doorway. Again, not rebated for any door. So maybe just a black curtain or a blackout curtain hung across it. Very, very solid. So if you step through into a small room, now we can only assume that this is like an ablutions area, maybe a toilet. I doubt if they'd have cooked in here, not with the toilet in the same place, maybe they cooked in the main chamber. It's full of rubbish now. Vent pipes on the bottom of the walls. Again, a concrete roof in the shape of corrugated iron, concrete blocks. And the entrance shaft just full of soil and what's coming from outside, and plus leaf fall there. And that's leading up to the entrance shaft. Now the entrance shaft and the exit shaft had no ladders, no grab handles going up the sides. They had actually wooden steps, so you could actually just open the hatch and walk down in. And that's the entrance shaft. You can just see the ladders, our ladders there. And going back out, so you would come out of here and straight into the main entrance. Not half as big as Rise. Rise is twice as long as this main chamber. But fabulous to see, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing it as much as we did. Come down here because we have it on good authority, all unwritten testimony, that this was the small arms range for the chaps that used to come and train here on a weekend from the auxiliary units. This is I was amazed when I came down. It's a hidden valley, and if Martin just pans around for you, you can see the landslips in the side of the hill. They fired against the hill, and it's absolutely totally secluded. You couldn't ask for a more private, secluded area where to carry out clandestine training, really. So this has never been, this is not in any books, this is not in any record or anything. We found this by pure chance. So it's a first. It's the first for the Yorkshire team anyway that we found this. We're real pleased to be here. Imagine like 76 years ago now. The auxiliaries were down here, firing the Tommy guns, firing the rifles, the pistols, the revolvers, learning how to use them, learning how to reload, learning how to do stoppages. All happened here. So in that bank there where Martin's parting around for you, there's tons of lead. There's got to be tons of lead in there. We've had a scout round with our little lead metal detector. It's not very good. I thought we might find a shell or two, but we don't know exactly where they've stood. I would say where we are now is about the right distance to the target area. But nice to be here. Nice to be the first ones to report this. Yeah, real nice. Okay, we'll see if we can dig up anything else, and if we do, we'll get back to you. Okay. The old stable block on the estate is still in existence, and the auxiliaries did use this. We know that from oral testimony. On the side of the stable block is a water tank, and it's an exact replica of the one that's in the OB. Even the riveting is the same. So whoever built this one, possibly, built the one in the OB. It's been an absolute privilege to do a report on this area, and many thanks to the landowners who gave us unprecedented access to do this. It's been an absolute joy, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing it as much as we have.